let's talk B-roll style Instagram Reels. Yeah, that's what this video is all about. And this is specifically showing you the technical and most efficient process to actually create these style of Reels on Instagram. And I'm going to do a little screen share moment with you shortly to actually walk you through that step. However, just a caveat, this video assumes a couple of things. Firstly, that you already have a bunch of videos, B-roll style, that you have on your phone ready to go. Now, for clarity, a B-roll style video is any video that is capturing non-specific action. So it's kind of like filler video. So it might be a video of a beautiful lake that you've captured when you were on holiday. It might be a video of you sat typing at your desk. It might be a video of you making a coffee or something that is like a non-specific action, just showing you going about your everyday life. Now, what we do with these videos is we use them as the background, and on top of that, we add text in the style of a hook. So it's called in the online world, that's how it's referred to. And this hook is ultimately how you can imagine almost the subject line of an email. It's that piece of copy which tends to be pretty short, that is really capturing the person who is scrolling on by, hooking their attention and actually encouraging them to read the rest of the copy which is in the caption of your reel. Now, the reason these type of reels work well is for two reasons, really. Firstly, it's because for you as a business owner, they are actually super easy to make when you already have a bunch of footage on your phone that you've just captured around your everyday life. And it allows you to almost like show off your vibe, your style, how you see things, what you like looking at. It allows you to almost communicate that non-verbally, what your brand is all about. Secondly, because as of the time of recording, which is August 2024, so FYI, if this is completely different by the time you're watching this video, I take no responsibility for it. We know how Instagram likes to mix things up. But generally speaking, we're still seeing this content doing really, really well because the nature of it is that it increases things like watch time, because B-roll reels tend to be quite short with longer captions. So what that means is somebody will almost end up watching your video 5, 6, 7 times while they're reading the caption, which boosts views, which boosts watch time, which then tells Instagram, hey, actually, people are enjoying watching this. Let's show it to more people. So algorithmically, they are good ones to do. And they tend to perform better, by the way, in terms of reaching new audiences. They can still work for your existing audience, but with that, I would just say when you're creating these style of reels, check your insights and just see who they're being shown to. But generally speaking, we design them to actually reach new people. Now, the other thing this tutorial assumes is that you already have your hooks and captions written. Now, I will do some separate training or teaching, or if you look below this video, I'll share basically whatever I have to get you started with writing hooks and thinking about captions. But this video specifically assumes that you have that already done. This is really about the technical process of doing it as streamlined and as simply as possible. So with all that being said, let me get my phone up and running with the screen record and let's get into the technical details. By the magic of technology, you can now see what I'm seeing on my phone right here on the screen. So the first thing that I'm going to do is open up Instagram. Now, what this is going to do is show you the home screen. Now, from this home screen, what we want to do is hit the bottom middle button. And again, Instagram might change its layout, but essentially we want to go to the place on your phone where you can actually create videos or create posts. So then at the bottom, I'm going to select Reel. Let's start new video. So from this reel screen, what we want to do is select our B-roll video. Now, I've obviously got a couple of screen recordings on here because, hey, this is not my first time trying to do this tutorial. However, what I'm going to do is select this lovely 10-second clip that I recently took on my holiday. And this is going to serve as the B-roll clip that I'm using for this particular reel. Now, from here, I'm going to hit next. So this now takes me over to the editing screen. I'm going to swap over to my Notes app. And again, in my Notes app, this is where I've already got copied specifically the text that I want to go over this video and my caption as well. So where I've got hook at the top, this is what I'm going to use as my content hook. So I'm just going to press copy on that. Then I'm going to come back over here, select the text button at the top and hit paste. Now, again, how you style this is up to you, and there could probably be like a whole tutorial on like effective styling, but you can just have a play with this. Again, you can also, if you scroll and look at how other people are doing these videos, it'll give you inspiration as well. But for now, I'm just gonna plot the text in the middle of the screen. I'm also actually going to just click on it again and not animate it, but I'm going to add that outline style too so that it's slightly clearer. The key with hooks on B-roll videos is that we want them to be super clear and easy for people to read, so that if they're scrolling, they don't have to like squint or try and make it bigger, which you actually can't do on a reel. We just want to make it so that straight away they're drawn to reading the text. Next up, I'm going to find a trending audio. Now, trending audios are great. It is basically how you work with Instagram to jump on essentially trending sounds to get your content in front of new people. So to do that, we're going to select this little music button at the top, and it's going to bring up this screen. Now, what you can see is we've got this For You section. If I just scroll down, where you can see the little like upwards pointing arrow underneath the title of the track, that is telling you it's a trending audio. I'm pretty sure in this For You section, oh no, it doesn't actually, look, there's some that don't have that arrow. The ones without the arrow are currently not trending, which means theoretically they might not do as well in terms of reach. So what we want to do is select one of these soundtracks that has that little upwards arrow. There's all kinds of schools of thought around what it's best to do in terms of how many reels have already been created using that audio, which is the number you can see where on that top video it says 9,117 reels. That's telling you how many reels have already been created using this sound. I've heard things like you should aim for using sounds that are under 5,000. Some people have said use under 2,000. Honestly, I'm not really that bothered about it. I tend to go for ones that are under 5,000 just because. But what you also want to make sure you're doing is actually just hitting the play button to the right of it and actually just giving it a listen. I've got my audio turned right down at the moment so as not to interrupt this tutorial video, but you do just want to give them a listen and make sure they match the vibe of what you're trying to actually share. Because you might have, you know, this message that's about slowing down and slow living, and then you've got some like EDM dance track over the top. Probably a bit of a mismatch there. So you do want to also give them a listen and make sure that they are appropriate. If none of the ones that are showing up feel appropriate, you can actually, I think, click on that See More button and it'll show you even more. But for now, I'm just going to click on this Writings on the Wall one. I don't know what it sounds like because I'm not listening, but I'm not going to be posting this because it's just a tutorial. So once you've got the audio, you can also drag and actually change what's part of the soundtrack that you want. By default, I'm pretty sure it selects the most popular part of the track, so you are jumping on that trend. But if, for example, you choose to select a very specific song and you're like, I want to use this specific bit of the lyrics, that's where you could actually come in. If I press cancel, you could click on this search, type in whatever song it is that you want to use, click on it, navigate to the part of the song. So if you are really particular, if you're like, no, it has to be this song, and actually I don't care if it's trending or not, that's how you do that. But for this instance, we're really talking about how we can use the B-roll style reels with trending audios to maximize your reach. So then once you're happy, you press done. Now, the other thing to mention while we're still in this edit thing is also about the length of video. So again, if we're following this whole process of we want a video that's going to replay multiple times so that we can build up watch time, build up views while somebody's reading your longer caption, what we actually want to do is make sure we're editing the length of the video to make sure that happens. So you want to click on Edit Video in the bottom left-hand corner, and here you will see it is looping through. So I'm going to press pause just while I'm editing it. And if I tap on this actual top video, this is where I can come in and actually just drag it and make it shorter. This is also where, by the way, if you wanted to time text to come often on the screen, you could actually click on the specific text and you can drag it and say, look, I want this to pop up after 1 second, or I want it to pop up, you know, not straight away. So if I hit play now, you'll see it's blank and then the text pops up. So that's how you can play with different lengths of text, just in case you've seen people that's like, well, how do they get the text to pop up only halfway through the video? Or the second bit of text that says like read the caption appears like right at the end. That's how they would literally come in, add another text to say read caption, for example, press done, drag this down. If I just press tap, it'll actually play the rest of the thing and show me where the other content's placed. So if I then come here, if I click on edit video, again, I'm just going to press, oh, it's already paused. That's where I tap on that bottom text, drag it towards the end, and then if I click back on the image at the top just to make it full screen and tap on it, it'll then play through, and as you'll see, it's fine, and then the text pops up at the end. That's how you animate text, just in case you don't know. From that position, I'm actually just going to pause it, select this read caption. I actually don't want this in, so I'm just going to press delete there. So from this place, we've got trending audio, we've got our hook on the screen, we've edited the length so that it is 4 seconds long, which means it's going to replay lots and build up those views for us. Then we are ready to come in, hit next, and it brings us to the next section. I go back to my notes app where I've got the caption written. Again, done this beforehand, including the hashtags. Copy this, come back over, paste it into here, et voila. I can then hit share when I'm ready to post. Now, if you are actually going through and batch creating, so you're like, okay, I've got 10 posts already written and prepared, what I recommend with Reels is that you don't schedule them. And the reason I'm saying this is because whenever I've tried to schedule in the past, I've noticed that the reach on those Reels is significantly less than if I'm posting them live. And when we've gone to this effort, we do want to, you know, try what we can to make sure it gets distributed as much as we want it. But that doesn't mean that you have to come in and, you know, do this process from scratch every time. What you can actually do is hit on that save draft button. And that is then going to save it to your draft. So if I just close this over, if I click on my profile in the bottom right hand corner, you can see, and I'm actually already, usually is on your feed tab, but if I click on this middle one, you can then see your drafts over on the left hand side. So I would actually come in and I'd set up all my different Reels. If I've got multiple posted, save them all as drafts. And then on the day that I want to post, I would come in and actually then click on the Reel and press share. If you do choose to use this process, what I would recommend, instead of actually adding the trending audio to all the content that you know you're coming in and batch creating ready to post later, I would actually just go through that whole process that I did, but just don't add the music at that point. And then when you're ready to post, come in, click on the Reel, click edit in the top right hand corner, and then select the music from there. And the reason you want to do that is basically you want to use whatever audio is trending that day, because it does change regularly. So that's just one thing with the batch creation process. If you are coming in and adding 10, don't add the audio yet, add them in the moment that you are posting. The other thing I haven't mentioned is just for the covers. So as you can see on this edit screen, if I click on edit cover, you can then drag across your timeline to select which part, what you want the cover to be. This is what's going to show on your homepage. If you click on the profile grid tab, you can also edit what that looks like. So if you want to drag it and make the text bigger, you can do so there. If you have a fancy Canva graphic that you've designed, you can actually just go and add that from your camera roll. I do recommend, if you're using like Canva graphics for your For your covers, I do recommend that you make sure you have text on there that essentially mimics the hook, because if it's just a still image, if somebody like comes to your profile and is scrolling through your feed looking like, oh, what post do I want to look at next? If it's just an image of you, there's nothing that's telling them what that post is about. So their likelihood of actually clicking on it is very low. Whereas if, like, I personally tend to prefer just using however it comes out as the cover, because if someone was scrolling and they saw that and they're like, oh, what's that? Like, I want to read more about that. They have a reason to click and have a reason to go and look at it. And that, my friends, is how you go about actually physically creating the Instagram style B-roll reels.